Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Good morning, everybody. We decided to go live a little bit earlier. I know the games, I don't think, start until 4:30, I believe. NFL schedule. I think it's 4:30, but didn't really see a need in going live at 3:30. Got some other stuff to do today. So happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody. Um, Great to see all you guys. I appreciate everyone stopping by the stream. We're to try to answer as many questions today for about 45-ish minutes on the live stream. So thank you guys for joining up here. And the first game starts at, I think it's 4:30. Yeah, 4:30, and then the late game's at 8. All right, all right, all right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Just wanted to say thanks. You told me to start Puka, and I really appreciate it. Now I just need to know Henry or Zeke. No problem. I would go ahead and play Henry. Nope, I'd play Zeke. When do you start Ty Chandler, James Conner, Zeke, or Monty at the flex? Also playing Aaron Jones and JT. Benching ETN because I've lost faith in the Jags. Well, I wouldn't bench ETN because ETN is definitely the safest bet out of those guys. But if you need to, like, if you feel like, hey, I need to bench ETN, which I wouldn't do, I'd play Monty, I guess. Tyler Bass or Dustin Hopkins need all the points I can get this week. I'd probably go with Bass against the Chargers. Eckler or Aaron Jones, I'd probably play Aaron Jones. Javonte Williams or Jalen Warren or James Conner at the flex spot. I would play James Conner. Morning, Mr. Notorious. Good morning. Good morning. Merry Christmas. Good morning, Caitlin. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Nick, Bijan, or Walker? I'm nervous for Bijan. Yeah, I'd play Walker. Nick, I locked in my live you gave me. I told you I was invite you to the Carne Asada if I win the playoffs. Didn't make the playoffs, man. I had the second highest score last week. You didn't make the playoffs in the whole league. Lost by 6 points. Flex Zay Flowers and sat Noah Brown. Not to mention Josh Allen only got me. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That's crazy. You had the second most points and you didn't make it in. Oh, that's bullshit. Well, that's, I guess, on me. I told you to play Zay Flowers instead of Noah Brown. Let's be honest though, like, what's the odds Zay Flowers only gets 2 points? And I know he's like boom or bust, but like I expected him to get at least like 8 points in that game. That game on paper, with how that game went, you would have thought that Zay Flowers had at least 10 points. Yeah, that's on me. I apologize. You just got unlucky, man. You got very unlucky. That's very unlucky. So I apologize for that. I apologize. Have Tyreek and Evans. Do I flex Debo or DJ more? I'd flex Debo. And then Mixon, Pollard, or Swift. I would go with Mostert and Pollard. Deontay Johnson or Jordan Addison. I go Jordan Addison. Right on, man. Thank you very much. No problem. No problemo. Still Seahawks defense over Steelers and Bears. Yes. T. Higgins or Devontae. Half PPR. I'd play. I'm going to have to consult my rankings. Because that's one of those that's a very tough question because both those guys are very skilled and both of them aren't technically in the best scenarios ever, right? Obviously, I know Jake Browning's playing good, but realistically, right, you'd rather have Joe Burrow under center for T. Higgins, right? I know Higgins went off last week. I don't necessarily project that to happen again. Devontae Adams, I got a 17. T. Higgins, I got an 18. So I got them ranked back to back. So based upon my rankings, I got Devontae. If you want to be safer, go T. Higgins. Deontay Johnson, Thielen, Zeke. Can you pick two? I'd play Deontay Johnson and Zeke. Would you play Waddle or Ayuk? I would play Ayuk. Javonte, Jalen, or Josh Palmer in my flex. I would play Javonte. Jonathan Taylor, Devin A. Chain, Bijan Robinson. I need two. Who do I sit? If you need to start two, I'm playing Jonathan Taylor and I am playing Bijan Robinson. Superflex League, start two. Tua Flacco, Kyler, one running back, two flexes out of this group. Cooper, Gibbs, Isaiah Pacheco, JJ, K9, Zeke. Oh, fuck. Playing Flacco. Oh. Am I playing Flacco, though? I think we have to play Tua. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. This is another one of those tough questions. All right, we're going Kyler against Chicago. I don't think you can sit Kyler. And then I go Tua against Dallas. So Tua and Kyler. For the running back, you're going Pacheco. And then you're playing JJ and then K9. So JJ, K9, Pacheco, Kyler, Ayuk, Hawk, or A-Chain at the flex? Ayuk. Hey, man, I have Tyler Boyd. If Madison plays, should I start Boyd in the flex or should I would just keep Chandler in. I'm going to be honest with you. I like Boyd. Sorry about that. I like Boyd, but not as much as I like Chandler. Have PPR, Pacheco, Mostert, Jacobs, assuming he plays Zeke start too. I'm playing Mostert and I'm playing Pacheco. I need one flex full PPR. Austin Eckler, Devontae Smith, Jaden Reed, Noah Brown, Wicks, JMO, Waller, or Kraft at tight end. All right, I'm playing Eckler. Devonta Smith. Let's see about his injury report. Devontae Smith to miss second straight practice yesterday. That's not good. Starting to worry. Starting to worry about Devontae Smith. Sirianni says we'll see on Devontae Smith. We'll see. What does that mean, Sirianni? We'll see. I think he could play, but man. I guess I would just have to play Eckler, and then I'd go with Waller. That's tough, though. That is tough. How you feeling about the Bears' defense? Honest opinion, I think they'll be fine. Again, like I don't think they're going to be amazing, but I think they're going to get enough sacks to be fine. Like again, I don't project like some monstrous game out of them, but I think they'll be fine. Again, nothing probably to write home about, but they probably won't be the reason. Like if you start the Bears' defense, they're not going to be the reason why you lose your week or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the poll in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I'm just gonna put the poll in there because again, it just did you hit the like button? I don't know why this happens, but when you put the poll in, like, hey, did you hit the like button? Significantly more people like it. I don't know why it works like that, but it does. So hit that fucking like button. It's free and helps me out. Hoping Pittman doesn't get many points. Him coming off the concussion with JT back. I think he's still going to get a decent amount of points, if I'm being honest with you. I'm playing against him, too. Goddard, Kincaid, or Henry, if he plays, I would go Kincaid. Eckler or Aaron Jones? Aaron Jones. What's good, my boy? Need one. Reed, Hubbard, or Singletary? I would go Hubbard. I went from last place. You still have the worst power rankings to the fourth place in the playoffs. Love to see it. What's up, John? How we doing, man? Dak or Allen? I would go Allen. Half PPR. AJ Brown, Diggs, Rice. Sit one. Oh, Jesus. Eric asking the tough questions out here. I'm not sitting any of those receivers. You gotta sit Jacobs. Is Debo a gamble? No, he's not a gamble. You have to play Debo. Debo's been literally cracked. How many games in a row now? 4 games in a row? You can't sit him. You can't sit him. I don't care what the matchup is, dude. He could be playing up against the fucking 85 Bears, and I'm playing Debo. I like all the other guys you got, but you got to play Debo. Hopkins or Reed? If Reed plays, I'm playing Reed. If not, you're just stuck with Hopkins. Should I worry about Devontae Smith? I'm worried. I'm feeling an Ayuk week. It wouldn't shock me. What's up, Gary? Kyler Baker or T-Law? If he plays, I'd go Kyler. Full PPR, pick 2 running backs, Connor, Aaron Jones, A-Chain. I would go Aaron Jones and A-Chain. Yeah, no, I'm not wearing a hat today. Swift or Cooper? I'd go Swift. Now, the reason, actually, I'd go Cooper, but the reason why I always wear a hat is because it's just significantly easier to put the fucking hat on and not have to worry about, like, making my hair look fine. Now, I don't really use any product on my hair. I just have good hair. Put something in it to stick it up, obviously, but nothing else besides that. I've had, I always just wear the hat because I don't like how the hair looks all the time, and I don't feel like sitting up, fucking making my hair up as if that's what you do. But you get what I mean, right? Before I go like live or something. So that's why it's like this. So yeah, I was surprised they only got me 1.7. It happens. I got knocked out of the playoff spot by 10 points. It's fantasy. It's not your fault. Yeah, I know. It's always tough. It is always tough for fantasy. Fantasy is a tough game. I mean, that's something that I realized a while ago. is that regardless of everything you do, you could do literally everything possible to win, and you're bound to just get fucked somehow, right? Like last week, my whole lineup literally went insane in the membrane. I had a very good week, in my opinion, compared to what I thought I was going to do. And then I get bounced out the playoffs because Bijan scores me zero point 0.7 points. So, regardless of all the research you do, regardless of how hard you're trying, right? You can watch every single one of my videos. You can watch every stream. I can answer all your questions. I could set you up as good as possible. And it's not even a guarantee that you win. That's just how it goes, man. Fantasy is a very tough game, something I learned a while ago, and that's why I don't let it frustrate me too much. Like I know a lot of people, rightfully so, will let fantasy make them mad, and it used to make me mad as well, but not anymore. I just kind of stopped putting too much weight into it because again, there's so much random shit that happens from a day to day basis in fantasy. It's hard to predict. That's what makes it so fun, though, too. Zach Moss has been ruled out for Week 16. Anyone that was wanting to start Zach Moss, he is out. I guess that means that we're going to see a lot more not A-Chain, a lot more JT this week. And that could also mean, I think that means Trey Sermon's the handcuff. So if you need a handcuff for JT, it's Sermon. But again, I wouldn't be aggressively banging the drum for Trey Sermon or anything. So thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's get a W next year, though. Hopefully, everyone here were able to advance into the finals of our fantasy championship and then get that win next week. I'm still alive in one of my leagues. 1 out of 4, I made it to the semifinals. But that was the team that I had to buy in, so I was guaranteed to make it anyways. Happy holidays, Nick. What's up, Caitlin? Now that we're in the playoffs, I'm second guessing myself on the note. Do I start A-Chain or Hubbard? I play A-Chain, and then I play Waddle over Ridley. I go double Dolphins. Double Dolphins. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well, Roxford. I really appreciate that. Merry Christmas to everyone in the chat. I hope everyone is having a nice day today. Obviously, tomorrow's Christmas Eve. For some people, that might mean it's fucking chaotic. Or some people, they're just chilling at home, get to relax, watch the games. Should be a fun one. The games tomorrow are pretty decent. Now, if we're being completely honest with you, like there's a lot of games once you get super late into the season where a lot of the games just suck, right? On paper, it's like, okay, who cares about the Falcons versus this team? Who cares about the Panthers versus this team, right? But, you got to find some fun in there anyways. And watching Red Zone, there's always some fun to watch anyways. So Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope that you guys all have a great one. And anyone that doesn't celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a nice weekend off, Nice weekend off. Now, the one thing, I feel like Christmas being on a Monday is like probably one of the, no, it's not a bad thing. But if you're someone with like an office job or you're someone that's going into work all the time, like I assume you want Christmas to be on like Wednesday so that they aren't able to just or so that you have off for more days. Like being on Monday, they kind of screw you. I think New Year's Eve is also on a weird day too. New Year's Eve is on a Sunday, so I assume you'll get Monday off. But yeah, the kind of sad, or not sad, but it kind of sucks for someone with an off job. So I'm just gonna change the chat to subscriber mode only real quick, so that you have to be subscribed to ask a question for 1 minute, of course. Um, New sub here. Salute. Cooper or Godwin? I'd play Cooper. Walking around the Christmas tree. Schultz versus Cleveland. No CJ. Kraft versus Carolina. Hunter. I'd play Hunter Henry. Hey Nick. Amari or no Brown? Amari pick 2. JT, A-Chain, Swift. I don't know why I keep yawning. I'd go JT and Swift. Bijan or Connor? I'm going Bijan. Schultz. Oh, I already answered that one. Pick 1. Running back and a flex. Eckler, Chandler, Reed, Palmer. If Reed plays, he's the answer for the flex. If not, I would go Eckler and Chandler. Should I start Charbonnet if Walker doesn't play? Yes. But I don't feel like Walker's going to miss. Walking around. Let's do some research on Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker. Injury updates. Not really seeing anything that says that Kenneth Walker is going to miss. Kenneth Walker, Roto World. All right, we'll keep answering, and then I'll go back to you, Jeffrey, while this shit loads on my computer. Chandler likely, Nico Collins pick 2. I'd play Chandler and Collins. What's up, dude? What's up, my man? Ayuk, Adams, Njoku, Laporta. I would go Ayuk, and I would go Adams. Deontay Johnson or Joshua Palmer. I would go Joshua Palmer. Ayuk, A-Chain, Waddle for the flex. I'd go Ayuk. Moss out means I got to go Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards will be fine. Yeah, I agree. I agree. If Walker does miss, I like Charbonnet. Uh, Kenneth Walker expected to play week 17 or week 16 is the most recent report, so I expect him to be in. You can get a cinnamon. Sorry for singing. Pacheco, Kyle. Patrick Mahomes and Rice or Purdy and Ayuk. I'm playing Purdy and Ayuk. Calvin Ridley or Chandler. I would go Chandler. I've been off since December 11th. Oh wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. So it goes A Chain or Nico Collins. Let's go bowling. I would go with. I think I'm going Nico, but A Chain's probably safer. Hound. What's going on, man? I already answered this one, but it's Hunter Henry. Do I start Devontae Adams? I have DJ Moore, AJ Brown, and Ayuk. Yeah, I would be sitting Adams for those guys. Mixon, Pittman, or Rice? I would go Pittman. Hacker, McBride. I'd go McBride. Calvin Ridley or Ty Chandler? I'd go Ty Chandler. Dak or Allen? I'm in the finals. You're in the finals this week. I'm going Allen. I have Rashi in the flex, and by flex Laporta, I also have Kelsey. Yeah, I'm playing Rashi over Laporta. Pittman, Ridley, Addison, or Higgins. If you need one, Raz, it's Pittman. If you need two, it's Pittman and Higgins. Nico, Cooper, or Chandler at the flex. I'd go Nico. Dak, Prescott, or Jared Goff? Prescott. With Devontae Smith not playing a possibility, I have Dotson, Williams, and a pickup, which ain't much. Yeah, I'd go Javonte Williams. 100%. All right. Merry Christmas. Sutton or Connor? Sutton for me, Samuel. I've been thinking about Spock. Worst time of the year for a sad situation. Yeah, it is terrible. I hope Spock's okay. Um, he hasn't emailed me today. I didn't tell him I was streaming today. So I don't know. He probably has notifications on. He's probably busy, so I don't I didn't expect Spock to come, obviously. But I didn't email him telling him I was streaming. We talk on email every once in a while. I hope he's okay though. Spock's a great guy, so I hope his dog's all right. It's fucked up. What always happens around Christmas. Christmas around the holidays is when the most messed up shit normally happens. Pretty fucked up. So I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. You don't think Ramsey's gonna lock up Lamb Angel? I hope so. Right? As a Dolphins fan, I hope so. But look, I'm not gonna sit here, dude. If you're in your fantasy football playoffs and you have Lamb and like a couple other guys, you're not sitting Lamb. You're not sitting Lamb because even if Ramsey locks Lamb up, Lamb will probably still end up in the end zone. Right? So I figure if Lamb has a shitty day, he'll probably still end up with 15 points, right? And that's a bad day for Lamb, 15 points. That's a great day for a majority of wide receivers, right? So I think even if Ramsey locks him up, like I think he's still going to score. I think they're going to, just like they did last week, right? Ramsey, or not Ramsey, CeeDee Lamb struggling. The whole offense is struggling. And then they do these like end around shits, right? They get like a design screen for Lamb to where he could just make a move on the defense, juke them out their socks, and then he runs into the end zone, right? So again, while I hope that, look, I have CeeDee Lamb on my team. CeeDee Lamb's on all my underdog teams that are in the playoffs that I need to win. Best case scenario for me, I care about the Dolphins more. So I'd rather fucking Ramsey have Lamb in a torture chamber. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. Andrew, thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it. Dak or Allen, I'm fifth in the finals. Look, Andrew, I would go with Allen. Now, I know technically there's a chance that Allen could shit the bed tonight against the Chargers because maybe they just run a million times. But what I'm thinking is going to happen is early on, right? Diggs has been struggling. Diggs has been on the struggle bus. Diggs has been down astronomical. So what I think is going to happen is I think early on in the game, Josh Allen's going to get Diggs involved, right? Diggs has been outside the top, I think, 30, 4 out of the last 5 weeks. Now, again, don't pin me on that one like, oh, Nick, you said that. That's not true. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. But it's something like that, right? He's been pretty shit for the last 5 games. So what I think is going to happen is early out in the game that Stephon Diggs is going to get peppered heavily by Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen scores at least 2 touchdowns, and Josh Allen has the chance to, if they don't want to just run a million times, Josh Allen could legitimately score 45 points. And I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. He could have the best quarterback game ever because the Chargers defense can't stop him. We just saw Aiden O'Connell go crazy against him. So Josh Allen might drop 40 plus points. Now, again, am I saying that's a guarantee? No. But I'd rather take the quarterback against the bad defense over the quarterback going up against a defense that, in my opinion, the Dolphins have a good defense. Now, I know people say, Nick, the Dolphins defense isn't that great, this, that, and the other thing. I think the Dolphins defense is pretty good. So I'm going with Josh Allen. Trojan, thank you for the super chat. Half PPR. Gibbs, Henry, Bijan, Javante, Chandler. You need two. You need two of Devontae, Garrett, Ridley, Higgins, Godwin, and one flex of the remaining players. So for the running backs, what's up, Carlos? Merry Christmas to you as well. So for the running backs, we got to go Gibbs. Got to lock Gibbs in. Gibbs is like a lock at this point. Now I'm going Bijan. I know Bijan fucked us in the ass, but we got to go Bijan. Then we're gonna go Higgins. We're gonna go Garrett Wilson. And we're gonna go Chandler. Gibbs, Bijan, Chandler, Garrett Wilson, Higgins. Because again, the will see on Devontae Smith scares me because it's not a will see, hey, he's playing on Sunday. It's a will see, hey, he's playing on Monday at 4:00. And if Devontae Smith doesn't play, then you are going to be sold up the river for fantasy because there's not many pivots to make, right? Unless you have a guy in the Ravens 49ers game that you can pivot to, or you have another Eagle guy, you're probably fucked. And you're not going to want to start another Eagle random wide receiver if Devontae Smith misses. Now, again, I'm not saying Devontae Smith is guaranteed out, but it's not week 5 anymore. It's not week 6 anymore, right? You can't really be affording to take these big risks, which would be, hey, if I don't play Devontae Smith with your lineup that you posted right here, you don't have a backup plan. There is no backup plan. If Devontae Smith doesn't play, you're scoring 0 fantasy points. You can't be scoring 0 fantasy points in the fantasy football semifinals, right? You just can't be. You can't be. And it's so crazy that a couple of years ago, most leagues, this week's the final, right? Because week 17 is the garbage games, whereas now week 17 has its own mind of its own, right? Real things happen in week 17 now. So I'm going Bijan, Chandler, Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, Higgins. If you can afford to take the risk, if you're more risky, I'd rather play Devontae than Wilson by a quarter mile, but I don't know if Devontae's going to play. So I got Garrett, Higgins, Bijan, Gibbs, Chandler. Thank you for the super chat. Hayden, thank you for the super chat as well, my man. I appreciate you. With Chase out, Myers or Boyd. Yeah, I get the Boyd hype. Like, would I be shocked if Boyd had a good game? No, I wouldn't. But I think that I'd be lying to you if I said, oh my God, I'd be so shocked if Boyd had a good game. What I will tell you is I feel as though Myers is like 99 times safer, and we've seen Myers be like a top 10, top 12 guy at points this season. So, like, if Myers was to get fed in this game, I could really see Myers being a top 12 guy. Boyd, on the other hand, if he gets fed, if Boyd is being targeted out the wazoo, I don't really think Boyd is going to even get close to like the top 20, right? He could be a top 24, top 30 guy, sure. But best case scenario for Myers is week winning. So I'd rather go with the best case scenario of Myers. Montgomery or Thielen, definitely go Montgomery. Need more lives next year, bro? Potentially. Potentially. I mean, we go live every Thursday and Sunday. And then when there's games Saturday, we go live Saturday too. So most weeks we go live 2 times. I know some people they go live like 5 times a week. I mean, I do have it in me. Like, I could obviously do that, but I don't know if everyone's trying to watch every day. And plus, when you go live, it like cucks the video. So unless I have the videos out, for instance, like 9 and 3, like if I had a better schedule, like, oh, every video's out at 9 a.m. and then the second video would be out at 3, then sure, I would be fine going live at 8. But if my video's going live at 9 a.m. and then 5 or 6, sometimes 7, then like if I go live at 8, it completely decimates the second video. And the videos are the big, it's what attracts the most amount of viewers to the channel, not the stream. Now, for some people, it's the opposite, right? Some fantasy analysts, they stream, and that's how they get a lot of the views. Obviously, there's 100 plus fucking people here, so obviously you guys care about the live streams, but it's not necessarily the biggest grabber of attention here. Montgomery or Thielen, Montgomery. Dallas will be playing more man coverage in Tampa too. I would be shocked if they played zone. I'd be shocked if they played a lot of zone. Tua is really good against the zone. It's very easy to find gaps in the zone when you have guys like Tyreek and Waddle. I hope that they try to play press coverage on the Dolphins. I think if they try to go man-to-man press, I think that's probably the best scenario for the Dolphins, assuming that the Dolphins continue to run a lot of motion, because if they're able to run a lot of motion, it's very hard to press. Like, it's very hard to push on Tyreek or Waddle if they're in motion. So that's my hope, right? If you play press with Tyreek, you're gonna have a bad time. You play man with Tyreek, you're gonna have a bad time. But obviously, zone is technically the best because Tua is very good at spot throwing. It's very easy to spot throw in a zone, especially again when you have that speed. So I expect most teams that play the Dolphins to be in man, 100%. Make your bed, Windy. I'm sorry, I just got done smashing your mom in the bed. That's why it's messed up. That was funny, right, guys? I'm only kidding. It's messy because I'm lazy and I didn't make my bed. I apologize. Zeke or Chuba? I would go Zeke. A Chain or Singletary? Please, Daddy. Not your daddy, but I would go A Chain. A lot of people call me Dad. Daddy, Mama, Mommy. Drake London, Jordan Addison, or McLaurin? Going to Addison in London. Pick 2. Monty. Zeke, Chandler, Jacobs, Singletary. I already have 38 for Puka in the bag. And want to focus on solid floors. I'm sorry for yawning. I probably made you guys yawn like fucking 15 times in the stream. I'm not even tired. I don't get it at all. I don't know what is going on. Lightning McQueen over there in the corner says hi to y'all. Let's go Montgomery. And if Zach is Zeke, who I assume it is, I'm going Zeke. If not, oh no, I'm going Monty and Jacobs. I lied. Monty and Jacobs. Lock it in. Montgomery or Chandler Montgomery. Noah Brown or Palmer. Eckler, Mixon, Zeke, Pacheco, Zeke, Mixon. Should I start Chandler or Jacobs? Monty, Aaron Jones, and Mixon. Thanks. If you need 1, it's Mixon. If you need 2, it's Mixon and Monty. Mostert, Montgomery, Mostert. Start the Colts, Packers, or Chiefs defense. I would go with. Let me think about this. Before I just answer in 2 seconds. The defensive questions always make me think a little bit more than like the running back or receiver questions, because I already have the running back and receiver questions. Like, everything is just in my brain. The defenses get a little bit waggled, scrambled in my brain. I don't know what the fuck I said, waggled. And he waggled away. All right, Colts, Packers, or Chiefs. I'm going Packers. I'm going Packers. Thanks, brother. Jake Ferguson or Ty Chandler? Ooh, Hayden, that's a good one. That's a good ass question. That is a good question because Hayden, I like both these guys. Now, Ferguson is a guy that obviously tight ends are much more boomer bust when you compare to, I'd say, the average running back, right? A tight end like Jake Ferguson is pretty boomer bust because, again, Jake Ferguson, he's a key piece in this Cowboys offense, but he's not a guy that's going to be ripping off 8, 10 targets most weeks, right? Now, against the Dolphins, if this does end up being that high scoring tit for tat rock'em sock'em robots matchup, sure, he could get a shit ton of targets, and it wouldn't shock me. But I tell you, most weeks, he's not cracking 8, 10 targets, right? He'll get 5, 6, catch 4 balls, 60 yards. And if he scores, you're happy. If he doesn't, you're okay, right? That's how I see Ferguson. Now, I know Alexander Madison might be back, and we'll read about Alexander Madison right now because we want the most recent update, not some shit I read in the morning because maybe it's changed by now. Madison questionable to play. So Madison might play, but either way, they're pushing so heavily towards Ty Chandler based upon everything that I've read. Now, I don't expect Madison to be like John Cena. You can't see me, right? And you don't see anything out of him, right? I don't expect him to fully like fairy dust disappear, but I also don't think that we're gonna get to the game day, right? And Madison's back at like 55% of snaps, right? I think Chandler very clearly is going to be the leader in snaps. I just trust Chandler more. Chandler's a pretty decent running back. Again, this is not to shit on Ferguson, but a lot of the time, again, the running back that's getting the carries is just inherently much safer than a tight end that you kind of need a touchdown to have a huge game. Whereas Chandler could get 80 rushing yards. He could get 4 or 5 catches, and then he's instantly leapfrogging Ferguson. And then if he scores, he's dropping 20 plus. So I'd probably just go with Ty Chandler. I think he's the safest bet, and they have pretty similar upside. And I apologize for making y'all yawn. What's up, Spock? How you doing, man? How you doing, Spock? Good to see you. A-Chain or Pacheco? I would go Pacheco. You think McBride going for 30 plus because all of Kyler's receivers are out? it's hard to see any tight end like definitively. Oh my god, he's gonna get 30 points, right? That's hard to say, right? Again, even like Kelsey, right? It's hard to say Kelsey's getting 30, right? And McBride's not as good as Kelsey, so it's hard to say that even like Kelsey has no receivers besides Rashi Rice, and he's not dropping 30 points every week. So again, it's not a guarantee. I'd say McBride's likely to get at least 18. I'd say 18 is a pretty safe projection for him. 30 plus is possible. Waller got it this week. I feel like Waller could be a sneaky good play with them having to throw a lot. I agree. I think Goddard's safer, but if you want to lean with Waller, go ahead. I mean, that's fine as well. I like Garrett Wilson this week. Washington allows the most fantasy production to wide receivers. Last week, Wilson had Fangio's pass defense, which league best the past 4 weeks. Yeah, except for against the Titans. Well, technically they were great against the Titans, but they just let we just let D Hop run hog wild on us, and it was a little bit sad. Maybe cry a little. Made me a little bit sad. Do you think Pittman plays? Yes. That hit looked bad. Yes, it did. But he practiced starting on Thursday, so he should be good. But yeah, that hit did look bad. I agree with you, John. That was one of those where I think a lot of people in the moment, right, watching that game, you're like, okay, the guy that hit him needs to be suspended, right? You're watching the slow motion. You're like, okay, that was a terrible hit. He should not have done that. And then you start to really think about it, like with how Pittman is like, Pittman's basically like, you ever seen I don't know how old, not everyone's like as young as me, right? But there's a Playboy Cardi album cover where he's like jumping, right? And that's basically what Pittman did. He was like nose fucking diving, and then the guy accidentally hit him in the head, right? Again, I get why maybe they eject him out the game, but he shouldn't be suspended for the whole season. Yeah, the hit looked bad. And obviously you don't want to see that in the game, right? But most guys on defense are trying to hit you like in the titty area, right? They're going bam. They're trying to hit you right here. If they're gonna hit you with the helmet, they're going right here. You can't hit in the head, so they're aiming for here, like maybe the shoulder a little bit. And the guy dives full force into him, so you're gonna accidentally hit him in the head with your helmet. It is what it is. Like again, it clearly wasn't on purpose. I'm just glad Pittman's okay because again, that's one of those injuries where it wouldn't shock you if you fast forward to right now and he's like still fucked up, right? Luckily, he's able to play. Emmanuel, likely Noah Brown, Gibson, Flowers, or Ty Chandler? Great question. Now, this is the scenario where I would lean with the tight end because Isaiah Likely has been great over the last 2 weeks in a row. Likely has been a guy that has been very reliable and Likely is in a matchup that we all project pretty much industry wide to be high score. Right? Now, is it possible that the 49ers versus the Ravens is a boring game? Of course. It's possible that any game is boring, right? And it's possible that even the worst game is exciting. For instance, if you guys remember Thursday Night Football last week, everyone on paper, Raiders, Chargers, there might be 7 points scored. And then the game starts. And sure, it's technically a boring game because the Raiders were just fucking smacking the Chargers up all game long. But the reason why it was boring wasn't why we thought. We thought it'd be low scoring, then it ends up being a higher scoring game. So I think Likely is probably your safest bet here, and I think he has a lot of upside. Now, again, I talked about this a lot. I have never really been an Isaiah Likely guy because Isaiah Likely has filled in for Andrews in the past, and he has been a huge disappointment. And he's been a huge disappointment mostly because we all, as a fantasy community, kind of hyped him up a lot, right? We're all banging the drum for him. Great in college, great situation. Lamar loves the tight end, and then Likely would disappoint, right? And then this season, the same thing happens. He disappoints the first game out. It's like, okay, I was right about Likely. He's just not that guy that we thought he was. And then back to back weeks with huge numbers, right? This is a Baltimore Ravens team that sure they have weapons. They have Zay Flowers. They have Odell. But Likely's the guy. And again, while Likely's touchdown upside might be a little bit fucked up by the fact that they run so much in the red zone, but they just lost Keaton Mitchell, I like Likely the most. Now, again, if you want to be even safer, you play Chandler, but I'd rather play Likely. That's my kind of opinion on things. Oh man, sorry about that, Spock. I already knew about that, but I'm obviously just hearing it again. Shit's messed up. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Half PPR, Walker, Jacobs, Hubbard, Demont, Connor. Great question. Great question. Let me just read my phone real quick. Someone text me. All right. All right. And then Angel had a good question that we're going to talk about in a second. Merry Football Saturday. Merry Football Saturday. So Chris's question: Walker, Jacobs, Hubbard, Demont, Connor. You have to lock Walker in. You got to lock Walker in. We just saw Walker go nuts. We saw Walker go nuts. Now, Walker was a guy that I was kind of worried about last week. Not because I worry about Walker's talent, but because I worried about, hey, he's coming back off that injury. We saw him 2 weeks ago come back off the injury, and he had like 8 touches. Now, again, that was a game where the Seahawks got hit with the swirly action, right? So I wasn't that surprised about that. But yeah, Walker got a lot of carries last week, had a great game. I expect him to be back in the driver's seat this week, so he's a lock to be in the lineup. Then we move to Jacobs, Hubbard, Demont, or Connor. The next safest guy is Montgomery. Now, Montgomery's maybe heyday of being like a top 5 guy, week winner, league winner, might be behind him, right? It might not necessarily, he might not necessarily, I don't know why I just did that. I want to crack my fingers. I did it against my head like a crazy person, but what I will tell you is that while Montgomery's days of maybe being the guy, right? The reason why you win your week, like he was maybe earlier on in the season, might be gone, but he's still a very safe option, right? It would be pretty far fetched for me to imagine this week ending and Demont being anything outside of like at the low end running back 18 or 20, right? He's a guy that's going to get 15 plus touches. He's a guy that if he scores, you're going to be very happy. If he doesn't score, you're going to be fine with. So I think Montgomery's a pretty safe bet every week. So Walker and Montgomery. And then I think I would go with Jacobs coming off the injury. I think that Jacobs is a pretty fine play with this matchup against the Chiefs. Jacobs has performed very well this season at points. Now, again, has Jacobs been this yellow brick road, like walking on the yellow brick road? I don't know the fucking song anymore. I'm too old. Back in the day. But you know what I'm talking about, right? The Wizard of Oz. It's not this yellow brick road type of walk for Jacobs. It's more of a roller coaster ride with its ebbs and flows. But I'm gonna go with Jacobs. I'm gonna go Monty, and I'm gonna go Walker. I think that's my answer there. And where do we think Eckler gets drafted at? That was the question that really intrigued me. I don't. I don't think people are gonna draft Eckler in the first 3 rounds. Now, maybe Eckler has a good game, or maybe Eckler is crazy, right? I don't think Eckler is gonna be drafted highly. I think people are done with Eckler. Now, again, do I think Eckler could be good next year? Yeah. Depends what team he goes to, because based upon what Eckler said, he's not gonna be a Charger next year. Based upon everything that I've read into the situation, he's like, "Oh, maybe things will be better next year on another team." Right? And we'll see. Hey, does this new quarterback dump off as much as Justin Herbert the pervert? Is this new quarterback who is this new quarterback? Right? Who is this new quarterback? Like, what team is he on, right? Is he on I don't even know what would be a good landing spot because I can't project, like, which teams are cutting who, but, right? Like, is he on this good team? Is he on this shit team? Is he on a team that I'm gonna think where the quarterback's gonna check it down a bunch? I don't know. We'll have to see. So as of right now, I don't think he's gonna be a top 3 round pick. But then again, everyone will just forget what happened last year, right? People will end up showing up onto draft day. They'll be like, hey, I think Eckler is gonna be great again, right? People change their mind on Eckler because everyone remembers all those great years of Eckler. And again, I'm not saying the great years are behind him, but it seems like they might be. So here's Spock's rankings. Spock's put his rankings in the chat. So running back, he's got CMC, Mostert, Cook, White. Gibbs, you're pretty high on White. Actually, no, you're not. That's fucking Rashad White. I'm so dumb. Gibbs, Bijan, Pollard, Etienne, JT, Hall, Pacheco, Henry, Mixon, Saquon, Jacobs. All right. I don't think that's that crazy. A-Chain, Walker, Jones, Chandler, Eckler, Swift, Zeke, Connor, Javante, Chuba, Warren, Singletary, Gibson, Gus. I don't think any of what he just said there is that crazy. I don't think any of those rankings are crazy. AJ, Lamb, Hill. I think that's exactly how I have my top 3. Amon Ra, Jefferson, Diggs. Diggs was a guy that was hard to rank this week. I'm going to get to the super chat, Ashley, in half of a second. Diggs was one of the hardest players to rank this week. Diggs has been on the struggle bus. Again, I think 4 out of the last 5 games or 3 out of the last 4 games. I expect him to get out the funk, but that was something that entered my mind. Evans, Debo, DJ Moore, DK Metcalf, Waddle, Ayuk, Adams, Devontae Smith, Rice, Ridley. I have Rice ranked higher than you, but I don't think Rice at 15 is like way too low. Wilson, Higgins. I have Higgins ranked a little higher. Cooper, Sutton, D-Hop, Godwin, Addison, London, Lockett, Flowers, McLaurin, Deontay, Thielen, Myers. I don't think any of these rankings are that crazy. Again, mine are slightly different, but Nothing I took out of what Spock said was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so wrong." Right? Ashley, thank you for the super chat. Help. Need one running back, two receivers, two flex. Zeke Elliott, A Chain, ETN, Chandler, Jones, Sutton, Waddle, Metcalf. All right. Now, my question, Ashley, is JJ, Josh Jacobs, or Justin Jefferson? That's a question here because if JJ is Justin Jefferson, it changes my answer here. All right. So let's see here. Take a sip of water. Let me know. Is that Jacobs or is that Justin Jefferson? I think it's Jefferson, but I'm not sure. All right, Justin Jefferson. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So your one running back is going to be ETN. Again, I get people are worried about ETN. I get people are panicking about ETN. I get this. I get that. I'm not sitting ETN. I am not sitting ETN. Can't do it. Okay. ETN's a lock. Who else is a lock? Justin Jefferson. You can't sit Justin Jefferson. I don't care if Justin Jefferson's running on one leg. He's still a start in my lineup every single week. ETN, Justin Jefferson. And then Metcalf. He's also a lock. So you got your running backs. I'm just going to type it in the chat so I don't forget. ETN, Jefferson. ETN, Jefferson, Metcalf. And they need two flexes. One of those flexes is going to be Waddle. Your other flex, between Chandler and A-Chain and Aaron Jones. I think ETN is a lock. Like, look, are we really going to get this cute, man? Like, do we really think CJ Beathard isn't dumping him the ball off a bunch? Right? Like, come on. Like, I think we're getting very, very cute if we're sitting ETN. Now, could ETN shit the bed, of course, but I think we're getting way too cute if we sit him. So, let's go ETN, Jefferson, Metcalf, Waddle, and then I think we're going to go Sutton, actually. We're going Sutton. Sutton's the safest bet. So ETN, Jefferson, Metcalf, Waddle, Sutton. Lock it in. Lock it in. I like that question. That was a very tough question to think through. But again, we got just ETN, Justin Jefferson, Metcalf, Waddle, Sutton. Next question here. Lyon. Thank you for the super chat. Chandler, Monty, Elliott in full PPR. All right. My opinion on Chandler and Montgomery right now, Elliott's out of the equation. So it's either Chandler or Montgomery. Chandler has more upside to me. Montgomery is much safer. So what I'll tell you, if you want the safe bet, you play Montgomery. If you want to be as safe as possible, you play David Montgomery, and I wouldn't even think twice about it. Now, if you're hunting for more upside, right? You're searching for, hey, I might need 25 plus points. I'd play Chandler. But I think Chandler might also end up being a guy that scores just 10 fantasy points, whereas I think Monty's guaranteed to get you 15. So if it's my team, I think I've kind of changed my mind on this. I think I'm going Montgomery. If it's my team, I'm playing Montgomery. If you want to be more risky and hunt for more upside, go Chandler. Roxford, thanks for the super chat. Nico, if he plays, or Addison. If Nico plays, I'm playing Nico. I understand that it's with Case Keenum, but I'm still playing Nico. 100%. All right, so I'd 100% play Nico if he plays, regardless of who the quarterback is. So the answer is Nico. If Nico doesn't play, then you could just fill in Addison. I think Addison should have a fine game. But again, Addison's been pretty boomer bust this season, so I'm not ready to crown Addison like a lot of people are. A lot of people are really kind of giving the gawk 9,000 special to Addison. And he's a great player. I love Jordan Addison. You guys know that from anyone who's here in the offseason knows I love Jordan Addison. But I don't think Jordan Addison is like this must-play type of guy. Yup says, help. Two flexes, Higgins, Ayuk, or Ayuk, Jacobs, or Higgins and Jacobs. Okay. McBride or Kittle, I'm in the playoffs. This might sound crazy, but you're sitting Kittle for McBride. Again, they don't have anyone at receiver. So McBride might score 40 fantasy points. He's not going to score 40 fantasy points, but he might get 20 plus fantasy points very easily. So we're going McBride. Then for the flexes, for the flex combo, I think we're going to stay away from Jacobs and we're going to go Higgins and Ayuk because I think Higgins and Ayuk are your safest bets. Higgins and Ayuk both have very high scoring upside as well. I like Higgins a lot without Jamar Chase. Obviously, there's a chance any given week that when you have a backup quarterback playing as well as he is, that Browning shits the bed, right? That Browning has a disaster class. That Browning ends up being an absolute dud. But I'm not gonna talk about that way. I'm gonna believe in Browning. So we're going Higgins and we're going Ayuk. I think Ayuk is definitely your safest bet as well. Those are your two safest bets, and they both have highest upside. And then I'm going McBride because, again, you asked me this 3 weeks ago. The answer is Kittle every single time. But I'm thinking McBride has the same amount of upside as Kittle. And I'm also thinking that McBride is significantly safer. So I'm going McBride. Thank you for the super chat. Shane, Kenneth, Henry, Zamir, Devontae need to handshake. PPR. Thank you. Kenneth, lock him in, and then we're going Devontae. Kenneth is a lock because if Kenneth gets the amount of carries he saw last week, he's basically not guaranteed to smash, but he's going to be a top 12, top 15 guy. Devontae Adams is risky, but so is Henry and Samir. So I'm just going to go with the safer bet out of Henry. 1 second. So yeah, I'm going with the safest bet, which is Devontae Adams. So we're going to go Devontae Adams, and then we're going to go Kenneth Walker. Devontae Adams, Kenneth Walker. Again, Kenneth because he's very safe, and then Adams because he's the safest out of that group. And I think that Adams also has some pretty big upside, given the quarterback play isn't complete dog shit. Complete terrible. All right. So we're gonna be live for only a couple more minutes because I do have to skedaddle. I got some stuff to do today, but try to answer as many questions as possible. Do I take a 7 big risk and play Devontae Smith if he's out? Look, if you want to take the risk, go ahead. Am I going to take that risk? No. But if you want to take that risk, that's fine. Right. Full PPR, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex. I have Palmer as my wide receiver 3. Najee is my running back 2. Chandler is my flex. Do I start Wicks, Douglas, or Spears over them? All right. Palmer's, again, is Palmer safe? Of course not. Palmer is not safe at all. But the upside is immense, right? The upside is, hey, the Bills are beating us out, right? They are beating us down. We are getting destroyed. We got to throw the ball, and Palmer scores a touchdown late. I like that. Do I like Najee? The answer is no. But am I playing Spears over Najee? The answer would be no. The answer would be no to that because not that I dislike Spears, but because Spears, the way that he does well is the Titans get smashed, right? The Titans are getting smashed late in the game. They have to check down a bunch to Spears, and Spears plays a lot, and then they kind of take Derrick Henry out, and that ends up with Spears having a good game. Now, do I project that to happen? Not necessarily, because I think the Titans might actually be in this game. I really do. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I'd rather have Najee over Spears. And then for the flex, I think playing Wicks or Douglas, like Douglas is such a safe bet that it's almost like you don't want the safe guy. Like I've talked about this all week. I don't think you want to play a guy like Douglas in your fantasy playoffs because Douglas, best case scenario for Douglas, he's the wide receiver 28, right? Best case scenario for Chandler is he's like the running back 5, right? The best case scenario for Chandler is he smashes and has a huge game. Douglas is just going to get you 10 fucking points, and that's not going to do anything for you in the fantasy playoffs, right? You're not going to, it just doesn't do anything. So I'd rather take maybe slightly more risk with Chandler. I don't even think Chandler's more risk. And then Wicks is just too risky for me. Even if Reed and Watson are out, like Wicks isn't that good of a player. He really isn't. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with the guys you got in. I think that's the correct lineup. I think you got the correct lineup in. So I'm going Palmer. I'm sticking with what you got. I think that makes the most sense. I think it's probably the safest with the most upside. So yeah, I'm sticking with who you got. Demetrius, thank you for the super chat. Hey man, non-PPR, start and sit Brock or Goff, Singletary or McLaurin, Ingram or Kincaid, and would you play Flowers over Singletary and McLaurin? Thanks. No problem, Demetrius. I really appreciate you. So Brock versus Goff. This is a scenario where I think you have to go Brock. Look, I know I know Goff threw, what, 5 touchdowns last week, right? Goff had a huge game. I didn't expect a huge game out of Goff, and he had a huge game. So, I like Goff, but I definitely would rather go Brock. Definitely going Brock. I would I just feel way more comfortable playing Brock, so it would have to be Brock. And yeah, Spock is a mod. Spock's been a mod for like 4 years probably. Again, I don't know how long Spock's been here for. Maybe I don't even know how long I've been doing this for. 5 years? Maybe Spock's been a fucking mod for 5 years. I don't know. It's been a long time. Brock or Goff, I'm going Brock. Singletary or McLaurin, I'm going Singletary. Because McLaurin is not only up against a hard matchup in the Jets, McLaurin also is on a team that might bench Howell 4 seconds into the game. So maybe Brissett's better for McLaurin, but even if the Jets defense, sometimes the Jets defense gives up, right? They call uncle, this, that, and the other thing. I get it. Do we think the Jets are going to call uncle? You think the Jets are going to give up against the Commanders? No, that is not going to happen. The Jets will give up against the Dolphins. The Jets will give up against teams that are good. The Commanders are not good. Singletary, by far. Singletary is going to get a boatload of carries. Brock, Singletary, Ingram or Kincaid. Kincaid put up a goose egg last week. I don't think Kincaid's going to have a goose egg this week. But again, we're trying to compare like one of the safest tight ends in fantasy football in Ingram versus a guy that just scored 0 points. Now, again, I don't project him to score 0 points again. I'm not going to sit here and lie to the people and tell you guys, oh, he's scoring 0 points again, because he's not. But Ingram is safer, and they have the same upside, so you go Ingram. And I wouldn't play Flowers over Singletary or McLaurin. But if you have to play McLaurin, you're playing Flowers over McLaurin. But based upon how I read this question, it's Brock Purdy over Goff, Singletary over McLaurin, and Ingram over Kincaid. Chris, thank you for the super chat again. I appreciate that. Half PPR, Waddle, Flowers, Reed, or Boyd. If Reed plays, I want Reed in my lineup. I think Reed might be a top 10 receiver this week if he plays. But again, he's not guaranteed to play. I don't think he's going to play. And we're going to have to end the stream very shortly, just so you guys know. Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed, questionable. Christian Watson, doubtful. Jaden Reed's questionable, so I'm thinking he might play. Reed went outside, but technically didn't practice, so that doesn't sound great. Fuck. All right, when do the Packers play? Packers play at 1 on Sunday. Okay, so you're going to write this down. Write this down for me, Chris. Write down Waddle and Reed. All right? So you're writing down Waddle and Reed. That's who you're putting in your lineup right now. If Reed misses, I'm going Flowers. Sure, Boyd's the safe bet. Flowers might fuck me in the ass, but I don't know what the fuck I was saying. Yeah, sure, Boyd is the safe option. Flowers might screw you. But Boyd's not guaranteed to get you even 10 points, right? They still have Trenton Irwin, the alligator man. Trenton Irwin, crikey, mate. So I just would rather go with Waddle and Reed, and then if Reed doesn't play, you pivot to Flowers. Waddle and Reed. Reed doesn't play, you play Flowers. Shemia. Thank you for the super chat. Half PPR. Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, or Waddle? Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, or Waddle? All right. I would go... This is a tough one. Not Aaron Jones is not a part of this equation. Waddle versus Jacobs is tough. Because we just saw Waddle have a huge game, but Tyreek's back. We just saw Waddle have a huge game, but the Cowboys defense looks bad. So we have a lot of question marks here. Josh Jacobs is coming back off of an injury. But I kind of like the Raiders matchup against the Chiefs. So now I'm stuck here, perplexed, questioning my life decisions. Gun to the head, which is how these scenarios work, right? I gotta make a decision. I can't just sit here and pussyfoot around the question. I'm going Waddle. We're going Jalen Waddle over Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs. Lock it in. Jalen Waddle. I like Josh Jacobs. I do. But I think I like Waddle a little bit more. I think Waddle's going to. Is Reed playing? I don't know, John. I have no fucking idea. He might play. Chase, it's okay if you messed up the super chat. Just leave your question in the chat and I'll answer it for you. Leave your question in the chat and I'll answer it for you right now. Because then I got to go. I got to skedaddle. Waddle. Waddle over Jacobs. Put your question in the chat, Chase, and I'll answer it for you. And then I'm getting out of here. If you win, you get $15K. John, make sure you send at least $14,999 my way if you want. At least. At least. Question below. Okay. All right. But on reality, I'm rooting for you. Locking it in. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Wait for Chase's question. Once Chase, we're going to answer the next super chat, and then we'll go back to Chase. Never mind. Chase dropped his question. It was Bijan or Brees, half PPR. Spock answered. Okay, thank you. So I assume, again, I don't remember Spock's rankings off the top of my head because that's just how dumb I am. Can't remember. You got me, John? Thank you. I'm only messing with you. Keep all your money. You don't need to send me any money. It's obviously a joke. Anyone who thinks that was being serious, I don't think anyone thought it was serious. So Bijan or Brees? I have to go Brees. The Commanders' defense is bad. The Commanders' defense, so this is funny. It's the worst offense in the NFL versus the worst defense in the NFL. So the worst defense in the NFL is the Commanders. The worst offense in the NFL is the Jets. Let's see what happens. I'm going Brees Hall. Look, I could see Bijan go out there and get a gazillion carries. I could see Bijan step onto the field. They force feed him the ball. So you have Bijan over Brees. I don't think that's crazy, but I'm going Brees. The Commanders' defense is really that bad. I have to think Brees Hall is going to. Yeah, I'll accept checks. I'll accept anything. You can send me anything really. But I'm going Brees Hall. 1000%. I just trust Brees Hall more. And again, it's not that I don't trust Bijan the player. I don't trust the coaching staff. I don't trust Arthur Smith. If Arthur Smith, someone mentioned it before, if Arthur Smith is the coach next year of the Falcons, I'm going to be honest with you, regardless of how much I like Bijan, any of these guys, I'm sitting Bijan. All right, I'm not by sitting, I'm not drafting him. I'm not going to, if Arthur Smith is the head coach next year, regardless of how much I love Bijan, he's going to be a do not draft player. I'll let him beat me. I will. I'll let him be amazing. I'm not drafting him next year. But yeah, I like the Bills defense too. I'm going Brees. I just have to go Brees. I don't trust the coaching staff of the Falcons, so I can't do it. I'm going Brees. Maybe you have a bigger stomach than I do. Like maybe you have like a bigger stomach. I don't know. Like you can swallow the pill better than I can. I guess that may be the term to use, Chase. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely going Brees over Bijan if I'm being honest with you. And a nice picture you got there. You got a wonderful family. Congratulations. I just got me, myself, and I, so yeah, the answer is Brees Hall. I just did the fucking Paulie Walnuts laugh. Okay. We buy houses near you. 512. Thank you for the super chat. Played Kyron and Alvin Kamara on Thursday. Lucky Williams scored a touchdown. Kamara was a letdown. You know what? I'm going to be honest. Kamara was a letdown. But, no problem, Chase. But, you were playing Kamara regardless, right? I know Kamara shit the bed. If you sack Kamara, you would have felt stupid. So, who should I flex? ETN, Brees Hall. Oh my God. Did you ask a question on Thursday? I think you did because I was completely shocked at how many running backs you had, or maybe it was in the comment section I answered it. Or maybe it was someone else that had a crazy running back room like this. Yeah, so you're going Walker as your flex, but this is like a crazy question. This is one that'll keep you up at night because you have so many good running backs. I'm going Walker. Titans defense sucks ass against the run. Titans defense is so fucking bad against the run, it's not even funny. So yeah, I'm going with Kenneth Walker. I think with Geno Smith under center, Kenneth Walker gets fed the ball. I think Kenneth Walker has a huge game. I'm going Kenneth Walker. I think he might be the running back one at the end of the week. So Kenneth Walker, RB. Nah, I don't have him ranked as the RB1, but I think he could be this week. I'll be like a meemaw sending a check in the mail with a kitten with a Christmas hat on it. That's funny. Grandmas do be sending some crazy ass cards. All right. We're gonna go to super fast mode on the questions here, and then we're getting out of here. Again, I apologize. I gotta go. I got some stuff to do. We did go live for an hour though, so I think that should be serviceable enough. Should be serviceable enough. Let's do it. Noah Brown, Javonte Williams, OBJ, Tajay Spears. We're going Javonte. Would you play Zeke over Kenneth Walker Waddle? No. Palmer, Thielen, Palmer, Williams. You're down big. Go Palmer. I have Aaron Jones on my flex. Ferguson over Likely is my tight end. That makes sense. Louis. I would do the same thing. McBride, flexing Lockett or Likely. I would flex Likely. Hurts, Geno, Mullins, Baker, rank for the week. Jalen Hurts 1, Baker 2, Geno 3, Mullins 4. Who should I start my 10-man this week? Zeke or Adams? Adams. Should we play Isaiah Pacheco? Yes. Jaden Reed, Zay Flowers, or Brandon Cooks? Jaden Reed, if Reed doesn't play, go Flowers. Appreciate y'all. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow as well. Smash that like button. Yeah, hit the like button on the way out. Keenan Allen out. Should I play Palmer, Parker Washington, or Demario Douglas Parker? Komet or Kincaid? Komet. All right. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I apologize that it's kind of an abrupt ending, but I said we'll be live for an hour. It's been an hour and 1 minute, so I do love you guys. Make sure you guys smash the like button on the way out. We'll be live tomorrow, Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the morning. We'll be live in the morning, maybe even a little bit earlier. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I love you guys all. Spock, hope you have a great one. Hope everyone in chat has a great one. I really appreciate you guys. Kyle, Caitlin, Taylor, Jacinto. Again, I apologize for pronouncing your name wrong. Justin, I appreciate you. One text and every single person in the chat. Louis, Kyle, Dirty, Chase, Joseph, Chad, every single person here. I can't thank everyone, otherwise we'd be sitting here for a fucking hour. But I do appreciate you, John, everyone in the chat. I love you guys. Good luck, everyone. Let's eat some W's today. We'll be back tomorrow. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Good luck, everybody. Much love. See you guys on the Flippity Flop tomorrow. And again, let's try and win some championships, baby. Hit the like button on the way out. That shit's free. Good boy. I'm going to put some music on, too, as we get out of here. See you guys later. Peace out.